want y'all to listen to this, what Frank Warren's about to say. This is after the press conference just ended for Tyson Fury and his team about 5 weeks before he takes on Alexander Usyk on May the 18th. It's April the 10th right now, 2024. We're going to watch some clips from the press conference, and we have that infamous body shot, because that's been the talk of the town, Usyk's jelly belly. But listen to this, and then we're going to talk after. Where we at?
Klitschko, when he went off the rails, and he was so big, he was never going to get back to any decent shape to be a boxer. What convinced you to take that risk of working with him? Because nobody else would.
It was a little bit
Listen
before
to this.
that, to be honest, Barry. When, if you remember, I was with Derek Chisora. Derek came in, and he had about 6 really good wins under his belts against ranked fighters, and I think he was about number 1 or number 2 in the couple of the governing bodies. And Tyson had a few fights fall through, and I went and met him. I always remember it was just over the Christmas holidays at the time, and we met him at St Pancras. Come down on the train with his then trainer Peter Fury, and we sat down. And when I said, I said, we want to make the fight. I want to make the fight with you and Derek, and I think I can make it for a final eliminator for Klitschko's title. And remember, Derek Chisora's with me here, and I fancied Derek to beat him, and give him a couple of fights because I wanted to, promote him, get him out there, because I'm not being disrespectful, but I don't think he was promoted as well as he should have been.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, we made the fight with Derek Chisora. Derek, as I say, going into that fight, I fancied him. And he came out and he absolutely took Derek to score. I mean, Derek, he switch hitting, he was doing everything. Yeah. Derek never won a second of the round, and he was coming off, as I say, a string of really good performances. And he destroyed him. And I said to him after the fight, I said, you know what? You will beat Klitschko. If you asked me that, I swear to you, I said, you will beat Klitschko. You do what you did tonight, and you will box his head off. You will beat Klitschko. And then we had not him and I, but there was a big fallout with his management. When I say a fallout, there was a bit of a liberty taken, but we sorted all that out afterwards. And they made the fight, but they went to Germany. And I didn't want to go to Germany. I wanted to go to purse bids and do it in the UK, because I felt in Germany, being very honest, you don't get a fair shake at all. Or fair crack at the whip there. It's hard work in Germany. But he went to Germany, despite all that, done his job and done the job and done what he had to do. Off the rails, as you say. I mean, some of the stories I was hearing were quite horrific. He obviously was
to the finals. If he could beat number 1,
probably the lowest depth he can be as a human being, that you're contemplating committing suicide. I mean, that must be, when you think you're in so much pain, the only way out is to kill yourself. I mean, that is a real horrible place to be. And the weight was piling on, he was boozing, he was doing a bit of drugging and so forth, and it just was all going wrong. And I can't remember, we had a couple of conversations, and then let's get together, and I met him, and we just sat down. I was looking at him, and it took me straight back to when I met him because I've been involved with him before, but when I sat down actually and done the deal with him at St Pancras, and I sat there and I looked at him, and I could see that in his eye. When you can look at someone, you can see, and I could see that there was a hunger for it. He wanted it, and I felt that for him, boxing was going to be his salvation. This is something he could aim for. This is going to pull him back together. I mean, he was huge.
Yeah,
he was huge. It's like having Ricky Hatton strapped around his waist on a good day. But and he had all this weight on, and and I thought to myself, you know what? I really believed he could do it. And then I had the job of having to convince, because a couple of things have been said which was taken out of context, and some stupid things were said. And I had to we had to get through all that. And I remember walking him into BT Sport at the time, going in there, so right, I said, and we had a deal with him. I said, I want to bring him up, and I want you to talk to him, and I want to do this. And there was quite a bit of, worried about it. And you remember, they're used to dealing with doing deals with with the FA, with the Champions League, cricket, rugby, and all that. So in comes me, Tyson. He brought
out of shape Tyson.
He brought Matthew, his mate, who's a very successful businessman, and it was a really surreal meeting. And we're there, and I could see them, and they were just like. It was just they didn't know what the effing hell was going on, like sitting there, but he just talks to them, charmed them, does what he does, And I said to him, I'm telling you now, I think we've been at BT for about a year by then. I'm not sure. Because we're doing Box Nation and that. And I said, I'm telling you now, we will get this channel will become #1 in boxing. We will deliver. He'll head it up. We'll have the best heavyweight. I'm telling you now, we will deliver the best heavyweight in boxing. We'll be the heavyweight channel, plus all the other guys that we're bringing through. And you know, that's what happened over the time. But it was a commitment to him. He had those 2 fights.
I thought that was a very interesting story by Frank Warren. So as you can see, I've been doing some digging. The fight between Tyson Fury and Oleksadr Usyk is going to be on May the 18th. It's going to be broadcast on BT Sport pay-per-view, The Zone here in the States. It's going to be on The Zone and ESPN pay-per-view, I believe, is broadcast. Either way, it's going to be on stateside pay-per-view. You'll be able to watch it everywhere. Shout out to the Saudis, man. For one, they're keeping their fighters active. They're paying them big time, and they're giving us the fights we want to see. How can we not like that? And they're stacking the undercards. We got a lot to talk about. I'm trying to get back into my routine. Actually, I've been doing good and getting out these fight previews at least 5 weeks before the fight, where I take like a little deep dive and look at the undercard and, you know, cover it in a more mature manner. You know, I'm older now. I'm a 40-year-old man. A lot of shenanigans I used to engage in, can't really be doing that no more, you know? So where do we begin? Do we begin with the body shots? I guess I want to. So I've been snooping around the internet here, finding footage of, you know, just studying Usyk. I've seen all of his fights, like literally all of them. Before he had his first fight on HBO, I went back and watched all of his fights. All of his fights are available on the internet. You can find them all very easily. I thought this was pretty cool right here. Look at this awareness. He went down from I'll let you see the sequence. But he had the instinct to know to block as soon as he hit the canvas because he expected punches coming. Look, took a big shot, bang, kind of tripped a little bit. But look how he covers up. Look, he just already knew. Wow. Interesting. But as you can see, I've been going around looking at clips, finding clips of him getting touched up to the body. Here, as you can see, we got a few of them right here. This was a mean one. This was back in, what was that? What's this date? I forgot this. Wait a minute. Is that 2013? 2015. It had to be 2015. That was a clean body shot. That's the Achilles heel right there. The jelly belly, or as Frank Warren said during the press conference today, the Achilles body. By the way, they scared the shit out of us media yesterday because it was an email press release yesterday on the 9th that Tyson Fury was going to be having a press conference today, and it was only his team. So the first thing I thought, like, oh man, what is this shit? Is it going to be postponed? He got some injury, but nope. They just had a regular press conference where they just talked about strategy and, you know, heavyweight division. I'm going to play a couple of clips, only the meaningful ones. But look at this one right here. You can't get no cleaner than this. Boom. Ooh, that's my favorite punch all in boxing too. That looked like his thing. Look how he had to push off. You could tell he was fucked up. Look how he had to push off. I took a body shot right here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You talk about something. I thought I was down. This was years ago. I wouldn't know what would happen to me if I would take a body shot like that. Now I'd be fucking comatose again. Look. The dude just say ay ay ay. No, and Fury's got a nice straight to the body when he uses it. Nice jab too. You know, they're clearly planning on this. You know, them body shots, man. Here is the Beterbiev one. Oh, we got to go. There we go. Forgot I get the technology. This nerd shit I got. Let's see. Look how much smaller Beterbiev is. So wait. Where'd it come from? There it is. There it is. There it is. Slow it down. Slow it down. Oh, I see it. You see it coming? Bend the knee. And he turned his ass. Bent the knee and showed his ass. And you know how you do that dip he be doing? Look, he tried to do it right there. The little dip and turn angle, whatever you want to call it. It was amateurish at the time. Ooh. Let me see if we got some more. By the way, take your time out. Like the video, subscribe, and TstreeT Controversy with 5U360. We're still going to talk about the undercard, but I'm just looking at these body shots. Tony Bellew touched him up a little bit, too. Tony touched him up a little bit. This one was interesting. Did I show this at the beginning of the video already? I wish we had a better angle of this. I really like the version of Joshua with Robert Garcia. I thought that was the mix. I like the body puncher, pressure fighter Joshua. I like that version. I think he did better than he did with Derrick James. You know, he had Usyk in some duress. Look, ooh. And it was quick, too. See if we can slow that one down. Nah, dog. Look, lifted him off his feet. Look, he already see it coming, looks like. Remember them body shots Teofimo was throwing at Loma and he was lifting him? Nah, look, lifted him a little bit. And did you notice he always seems to take body shots going away? Look, AJ knew he had him. AJ knew he had him. One thing you can say about AJ is he goes out there and gives it his all. Oh, I remember the Kovalev. They said he had a kid like a high-ass scrotum. His scrotum. Oh, these memes was hilarious. Somebody had he had like a ball sack on his stomach. You know what? Let's go look at the Daniel Dubois clip before we go look at the press conference. And then we got to talk about the undercard. We've run out of time. Thanks for watching. All right, we found the tape. We found the tape. I was on holiday, as they say in the UK or overseas, during this fight. I did this from a hotel room. Oh, yeah, that's clean. It was clean. Look, come on, man. That is in his, it is in his stomach. It's in his stomach. We're looking right at it. It's in his stomach. It's in his stomach. His fist is in his stomach. And he always seemed to take him going away. In the same spots. Always on that left side. Well, that first straight he was hit with, that was that first clip we looked at. Yeah, that who's belly? Oh, look, is that the mouth guard? Blech, made him puke. Oh man, Usyk. Oh no, bro, we got the tape. We got the. Now I'm not saying Fury gonna be able to beat him. I'm not saying that. We got the tape. He made him puke. Man, we gotta take a shit.
Another shot right there on the bottom.
He went straight down. Another time, ass up. Anguish. We're going to delve deeper into this as time goes on. No Diddy. Where were we at? Let's go listen to what Fury had to say at the press conference about the body shots. That's pretty interesting because obviously they're planning on it.
We have weight divisions for a reason, and me being an encyclopedia on boxing, and I've studied every heavyweight cruiserweight that's ever lived. When the cruiserweights step up to the big boys, usually they get found wanting. And even the greatest cruiserweights that's ever lived, Evander Holyfield, when he stepped up to the big boys and beat Daddy Bo and Lennox Lewis, he was found wanting. You can beat the average big ones, but you can't beat the elite big ones because size really matters. And we have weight divisions for a reason. And he's going to be found wanting when he fights me on May the 18th. Even if you look at David Hay, he was an explosive, good cruiserweight and good heavyweight. And when he fought average heavyweights, he could beat them. But when he stepped up to the big boy in Klitschko, it wasn't really a contest. We look at Thomas Adamek. He was a good light heavyweight, good cruiserweight. He beat some good average heavyweights, good world contender heavyweights, stepped up to the big boys, beat. So I expect the same from Oleksadr, to be fair. Who was the other one? Sultan Ibragimov. He was Olympic silver medalist. He was 20-0. He was world. I think he beat Shannon Briggs for the world championship.
all of those fights. Oh my God, I'm old as shit.
He was found wanting against Vladimir Klitschko at Madison Square Garden. So I could just keep going on and on.
I used to be a big Tumaz Adamant guy. Oh my gosh, I've been doing this shit way too long, man. But it's facts. And watch how Johnny Nelson catch this stray ass bullet.
On and on. Let's use Johnny Nelson, for instance. Johnny was he was an undefeated cruiserweight when he was cruiserweight, but every time he stepped up heavyweight, he got bashed. So it's facts. It's facts. I'm not slagging anybody off, but what I'm saying is, these are facts. And if anybody wants to go check my boxing history, go do it. I've studied this game all my life, and you cannot prove it wrong. This is my time, my destiny, my era, and my generation. Facts.
Oh my gosh. But hey, listen, Usyk is a very special fighter. Very special fighter. But Tyson Fury's size, his boxing ability, when he's on his shit, he is the best. He can beat everybody. But he has struggled with smaller fighters. And he is going to say that. He's going to say something along the lines here. Let me let him say it.
As well.
Yeah.
So Frank's definitely correct there.
And I've sort of looked at that, and I looked at that before we made the
Hold
fight
on.
with Dubois.
The bigger skilled man, and you have a smaller man with those same skills, or we'll just say with the same skills, and that big man's gonna win all day, Yeah.
And also, look, everybody underestimates Tyson's punching power. Everybody, I don't understand why. I mean,
I don't know about everybody. Wilder don't, does he?
No, but I'm talking about, you talk about a lot of people, and they just don't seem to understand it. And you're right, everybody who does get stepped in the ring, they find out about it. There's no doubt about that. And I think that's going to be another telling point in this fight, a big telling point for him.
I've got a fun fact. Everybody who was supposed to be a non-puncher in my career has given me trouble. And everybody who was supposed to be a dynamite puncher have been all right against. So I better fucking watch me boots, Anna here, because he's noted as a total non-puncher, but I've been put over by a few non-punchers, Dad, haven't I? Noted non-punchers have put me over before, but the big uns, the big punchers in history, I've been found wanting to keep me nailed down. So that's a little bit of a fun fact for everybody.
Another fact, a non-puncher is a very durable man as well. He's definitely got cast
That's a
iron
fact,
teams,
that's a fact. And he's definitely a tough man, isn't he?
Big puncher, weak jaw. Don't take it as well.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Big John's suggesting that Usyk has potentially a weak jaw. Frank?
No.
No?
You need to get your facts right too. He's got a cast iron jaw.
Yep.
All that. No, but if he's a big puncher, look, Nigel Benn.
Yep.
Weak round the tash.
Usyk's got a nice chin. It's been tested, but the body is jelly. I think that's what they're about to talk about next.
There's been loads of them, haven't there?
Been loads.
And I put that too. They're putting that much effort into knocking someone out. Leave the self open to a counter, crack. where the man who don't punch as much is using his boxing and moving, and he's not leaving himself wide open to getting knocked out.
Exactly.
Frank, you've talked about an Achilles heel for Oleksadr Usyk as well. Do you want to tell us more about that?
No, I've sort of looked at a lot of his fights going back to the amateur days, and he is a bit of a crybaby when it comes to getting caught to the body. He cries to the referee a lot, and for me that always was, if you want to use the phrase, an Achilles heel or an Achilles body. That's what it is, and he doesn't like it.
Factual that is as well, because the only time he's been put over is with body shots.
Yeah.
Beterbiev dropped him with a body shot, and I think it was the Polish guy. What was the Polish cruiserweight called? Was he called Gvovdyk or something like that? Something like that. I think he dropped him with a body shot as well.
Yeah.
So Frank's definitely correct there.
And I've sort of looked at that, and I looked at that before we made the fight with Dubois, and Dubois definitely hurt him to the body, irrespective of what went on. He doesn't like it to the body, that's for sure. And for me, the biggest exponent of exploiting a boxer's weakness is the professor here, and that's what he does. He finds that if anybody's going to exploit it, it'll be Tyson. He's got the mental capacity to do that and keep doing what he has to do. And
that he could be.
I know, people have asked about predictions. I genuinely believe that Tyson will win this fight in an explosive style. And
is that because we talked about size earlier as well? Is that because he's going to be so much bigger? Can you give us a bit more colour on the prediction?
I think he is. I mean, you only got to look at both of them. He is bigger, but the other guy, he's been a heavyweight for 3 years. So he's grown into that. He's grown into it. He's carrying the weight, and obviously, if you were struggling at cruiserweight, he's going to be more comfortable. But he's dealing with somebody, as Tyson said himself.
Let's go talk about the undercard. Yeah, there's a lot of clips out there of him but then again, Fury's been dropped too. One thing about Usyk is he's a dynamite puncher. And once he starts lining up that left hand, like it starts sitting on it, he'll tap you with it. But it's almost like he's just testing the waters, range finding, if that makes sense. So yeah, here is the undercard. We're going to look at each fight one by one. Here, let me pull up the fighters box recs here. I thought I had it on the screen already. Me and Big J are going to be doing an individual video on Opetaia versus Briedis 2. Opetaia can, he's not there yet, but as far as getting closer to Tszyu as being Australia's #1 fighter, he's getting there. So let's see, did they update the card on box rec? Yes, it is. It's fully up here. Let's go by here first. Opetaia versus Briedis 2. Joe Cordina versus Anthony Carcasi. That's how you pronounce his name. Usyk Belly versus Frank Sanchez. Ooh, that's sexy. Sergey Degenerate Kovalev taking on, forgot that guy's name. What's this guy's first name? Let's just do it here. Robin Safar, Isaac Lowe taking on Hasbullah Ahmadi. Moses the Tuma. I'm not. Him and Richard Torres, for some reason, I look at them as being like the same fighter. So let me tell you the fights that are interesting that I actually care about. I care about Caballel versus Frank Sanchez. That's going to be interesting. Briedis versus Opetaia 2. That's going to be interesting, especially to see where Briedis goes from here. Because this could be a potential, I don't want to say career ending, but at top level, if he loses this fight, he's going to go down a couple of notches. And Joe Cordina versus Anthony Carcasi. Let's go look at that division, by the way. I don't even know what division that is. Where we at? Damn, body. Look at him. Anguish. He's down there in significant pain. He's down there in significant pain. By the way, there's a rematch clause for Fury versus Usyk. They're going to try to target that cut, see if there's any scar tissue, open that up. The fight will be taking place, the rematch will be taking place for the end of this year, and there's already allegedly a deal in place for Fury and Joshua to fight if Fury wins both of the fights. What What division is Joe Cordina in? I'm tripping. I'm sorry, it's early. Super feather. So why am I not seeing it? Where we at? Where we at? But overall, if I was to rate this undercard, I'm talking about the fights that actually mean something. There he is. Winner of Joe Cordina, Crusasi. I'm sorry, I'm butchering the name. We could see him against possibly top ranked fighter. He don't even have the belt anymore. He's supposed to be moving up. Navarrete and Oscar Valdez is the interim champion. So top ranked fighter, PBC, top rank. So we can damn sure guarantee we would see a unification between top rank fighters, O'Shaquie Foster and Valdez before we see Joe Cordina. I doubt that. So Cordina winner, Eduardo Nunez will be his mandatory. So I guess what I'm saying is it's not really a fight that I'm really interested in too much. Y'all giving Crusasi a chance? I've covered him before, haven't I? I've watched him fight before. Against who, though? Don't remember. Frank Warren fight. He's been around for some time. I got to watch some tape to refresh my memory. So the only fights I really care about is Kovalev because he's making his full debut in the cruiserweight division. He was looking at cruiserweight back when he fought Bernard Hopkins. I remember because I interviewed him. He's now long in the tooth. How old is Kovalev now? It's got to be 40, right? 41. How close are you to 42? He just turned 41. Last week, April the 2nd. So he fought up Kovalev's brother, Tervel Pulev. This is going to be his second fight at cruiserweight. This is the guy who exposed Jenny Sushi for being the degenerate Jezebel that she was. So this is his second fight back after losing to Canelo near 5 years ago. Sheesh, that was that long ago? Damn. That was that long ago? 2019? You know how long ago that was? It's 2024. We're almost halfway there. It's April. Shit. Anyway, moving on. So, we could see him versus Jai Opetaia or Briedis. So that would be kind of fun. I want to see how he looks at cruiserweight. I want to see how he looks. I covered this fight. This is on my YouTube channel. But I want to see it's his second fight back, and also it's his second. He hasn't fought in 2 years, another 2-year layoff. He's had some money issues, some legal issues with that woman. I know the story, Kovalev. I know the whole story. And you got Frank Sanchez. I'm not going to make any jokes. They're not listed on here. I'm not going to make any jokes about his age, even though I want to. Let me tell you something. You know what? Let me go ahead and make a couple jokes. He's a good fighter, though. I like Sanchez as a fighter. No bullshit. But I just don't see anything special. If you're following me. But this is a really good fight on paper. Him versus Usyk Belly is a really good fighter. I like the fight a lot. 24-0 with 17 KOs. Does he look 31? This was a photo from when he was 24 or some shit. I may be being dramatic. Usyk Belly, 24-0, 16 KOs. He beat the shit out of Arslanbek Makhmudov. That was on the undercard of Joshua Wilder Parker. The day before Christmas Eve, they didn't care. But now, first big, huge step up. He had what was considered an upset win over Derek Chisora years ago, too. But now he's finally really getting his push. So I would give the undercard. Obviously, I'm giving the undercard an A minus. That's like a B plus. A minus. The main event alone it makes it an A. Undercard, only fight I'm really interested. The fights I'm interested in order. The number one fight I'm interested in the most is Caballero versus Frank Sanchez, Kovalev versus Safar, Cordina versus Crusasi, And then Atum, I got my eye on him. All the other ones I can really give a crap about. No disrespect to the fighters. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and TstreeT Controversy with 5v360.